All right, Shalom. First off, we give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chodash. Double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. And as always, peace and salutations to the elect. All right, it's the brother Benaiah from the Great Millstone Dallas branch. And this is going to be a quick lesson. And this lesson was ultimately inspired, by our Friday side camp that we had down here in Dallas. The elder Michael Allah, as you can see, this video I have pulled up on the screen was a video that he shared earlier Friday afternoon in the chat. And it's going, I'm gonna play just a little bit of it, you know what I'm saying, and I'm gonna get into the topic because we ultimately brought up these the topic of these AI bots and chat GPT, and these data centers ultimately came out, and which sparked me to look up and add chat GPT, you know what I'm saying, the ultimately the cause and the pollution that these data centers are doing to the earth, and ultimately how much resources, how they use mass amounts of resources, which ultimately I'm going to read because a squeeze, we see that squeeze is taking place right now. All right, and you have particular technocrats, such as Bill Gates, Sam Altman, which you see on the screen, I'm gonna play, and ultimately these other top elites of these world governments are all in agreement that there's a so-called climate crisis, a so-called crisis, and this is nothing new. This is something that the devil always does. He has to make a problem. That's a part of their left hand magic, is to make order out of chaos. You see. They cause they problems, reaction, solution, you see. And this is nothing, this so-called crisis, that the earth is overpopulated. All this is just a big lie so that Esau, all right, the devil, all right, the wicked of the scriptures, can ultimately come down with great wrath and be so-called justify himself in committing mass deletions, man. You see, because that's getting ready to take place. What people don't realize, all right, is that this devil, his new world order is being erected right before people's face. The image of the beast, the breath is being breathed right into it. And people are worshiping it, man. You see, knowingly and unknowingly, people are worshiping the image of the beast, man. You see, and you've been warned, starting with our apostles, bishops, elders on down, like-minded man that's pushing and preaching on the highways and byways. All right, but you people are not taking, you're not giving ear, man. You see. But ultimately, you're going to be faced with it real soon. You see, as we see more and more prices of electricity is going up, prices of your water bill is going up, and this is all happening due to these due to these centers that's being built, man. You see these data centers. You also got they're building these detention centers. These are things that's been spoken of for years, man. Starting with our apostles. All right, bishops and elders on down, been warning about, man. You see, but I don't want to stray too far off the topic because I want to play a little bit of this video because, like I said, ultimately this was brought out at our Friday side camp, and you will see how at the same time it's a so-called crisis, and you have Bill BG, you know what I'm saying, and other technocrats saying that we need to come up with a solution. We need to cut carbon uses. All right, but yet these data centers are causing more carbon. Carbon is so-called, they're using more carbon. You know what I'm saying? They're producing more carbon than anything else, man. You see, they're using more water than anything else. So let's play a little bit of this, and I have a couple of things pulled up on Chat GPT that I want to get into. All right, so let's get it.
1/15 of a teaspoon. That's how much water the average single interaction with ChatGPT uses, according to Sam Altman, the boss of OpenAI. So if you type, "Can you help me solve this maths problem?" that's a drop. Or, "Can I put lime instead of lemon in this recipe?" That's a drop. Or, "Why is the sky blue? Help me write this email. Help me improve my website code." Mr. Altman claims there are 1 billion messages sent to ChatGPT every day. And ChatGPT is just one AI bot. Chuck in Gemini, DeepSeek, Claude, and others. It's clear that the AI revolution is a thirsty one. Striking though it is, some experts are more than a little.
So you see, it's saying every time that you ask, these particular AI bots, starting with ChatGPT, and as he said, there's a billion questions being asked every day to ChatGPT. And as he said, every time a person asks a question, a drop of water is used. You see, and that's just ChatGPT. Like you said, you have Gemini and these other AI bots. All right, that people are flooding. More and more people are using these things, and children are using these things in school. Like the priest of Rock had mentioned at camp. He's seeing more and more kids, using ChatGPT in class and copy and pasting and stuff like that. So more and more every day people are using this AI technology, and ultimately it's using up the earth's resources, man. You see, but at the end of the day, people are going to be footing the bill. But yet this devil will turn around and say that it's a crisis. It's a crisis. It's a shortage on everything. It's a shortage on water, this and that. You see. So it's about to get real, it's about to get real bad out here, man. You see, and it was ultimately that, like I said, we end up going into asking ChatGPT about these AI data centers and what they and how much they pollute the earth, all right, and how much resources that they truly use, man. But before I get into that, I want to go to, like I said, I want to go to this this crisis, this carbon crisis. Okay, that you see, like I say, BG talking about. He had a whole TED talk basically telling people that they're getting ready to cut, delete people, man. If we can cut down the population, if we can cut down the population using these these jabs, you see, then we can, if we do a very good job with these jabs, then we can cut the population down. You see, so what is that saying? They're getting ready to off you people, man. You see, because like I said, you people are coming more and more they're becoming more and more less valuable. You have no people jobs are being replaced by AI. Robots are starting to come into delivering packages and shit like that. So people are their use on the planet Earth is becoming it's not valuable anymore. You see, so you're wasting up. You're using carbon. You're polluting. You're pushing out carbon, and you have no value. Versus their data centers, man. You see, which I'm gonna get, but I want to go into what like I just asked ChatGPT. What is the carbon crisis, and why do people like Bill Gates wants to cut it down? All right, so let's get straight into it. It says, great question. This topic gets talked about a lot, but it's often explained badly or in a way that makes it sound mysterious or sinister, which it is sinister, man. You see, everything that this devil do, okay, it's sinister, man. You see, as the scriptures say, he speaketh sweetly with his lips. You know what I'm saying? But in his mouth, his words were smoother than butter. You see, so he talks to you and tries to explain like he really care for you, like he really cares for the earth. All right, but like it says in his heart is he's trying to overthrow you. He's looking for a way to off your ass, man. Just like going back to Bill G with that TED talk. You see, that was some smooth shit, man. He basically told people and wrote an equation down on a fucking board right in front of everybody. If we just be able to cut the CO2 down by using these jabs, you see, and get the population down. You see, with your population going, that's not how the Lord, that lets you know that a society is in a decline if everything is being polluted and the population is going down. You see, this is not a prosperous society or world. Why? Because the wicked is in rulership. You think we're going to be having these type of problems when Yahushua comes back and set up the kingdom of heaven? There ain't gonna be no fucking carbon crisis in the kingdom of heaven. There ain't gonna be no overpopulation in the kingdom of heaven, man. You see? But what you have having is this devil going about and fucking up the ecosystem, hunting all these particular animals and fucking up the chain. You see, in the order that the Lord created in the beginning, man. You see? And ultimately, one thing is taken out of place, when one thing, the order is taken out of the order, it starts a domino effect, man. You see, and then everything starts to collapse. And that's what you have happening under the rulership of this goddamn Edomite, man. So let's get into it, man. It says what people mean by carbon crisis. The carbon crisis refers to the buildup of carbon dioxide, CO2, and other greenhouse gases in the Earth's atmosphere, mainly from burning fossil fuels like oil, coals, or natural gases, cars, planes, and ships, power plants, factories and cement production, deforestation, cutting trees removes natural CO2 absorbers, right? You see, so here it is. This nigga is talking about it's too much carbon, yet he's cutting out the natural, like I said, the natural CO2 absorbers, man. Okay, this nigga is cutting mass amounts of earth and trees and forests, totally fucking the ecosystem up, man. You see, like they were trying to do like they were doing in the Amazon, trying to just cutting down trees, bro. And the Amazon is known as the lungs of the earth. You see, all those trees are meant to. Everything was made with a purpose, man. You see, let's go. Let's grab the scripture. And I'm gonna come back real quick. So let's go to this in the book of Let me see. Let's go to the book of Sirach, chapter 42, man. I'm gonna read in the GNT, as you can see. All right, and I'm gonna start at verse 20. Okay. So this is Sirach chapter 42. Let me see. I'm gonna start at verse 21, Salakia. It says in verse 21, it says, the orderly world shows the greatness of his wisdom. It says, matter of fact, let me see where I can go. If I can go get another one real quick, because I want to save this one for later. Let me see. Let's go to Sirach chapter 16. Let me see. Let's see, 1 second. Sirach chapter 16 and verse 26 in the GNT. It says, in the beginning, the Lord did his work of creation. He gave everything a place of his own. He arranged everything in an internal order and decreed that it should be that way forever. Not one part of creation not one part of creation ever grows hungry. No part grows tired or stops its work. No parts do not crowd one another, and they never disobey his word. You see? So that lets you know, and I'm gonna keep reading. It says, when the Lord had made all things, he looked at the earth and filled it with good things. He covered it with all kinds of creatures that must die and return to the dust. Okay, but going back, it says that when the Lord created everything in the beginning, he gave everything its own place. You see, he arranged it to be like that forever. You see the order of everything, because everything works with each other, man. You see, Esau calls it they call it like in the Lion King, the circle of life. You know what I'm saying? The food chain, everything, how everything works, man. All right, that's why the Yahweh Shai and Elohim said it is good. You see, because it's meant to be eternal order. The earth is supposed to everything, even the season of reincarnate, is supposed to regenerate. You see, you're supposed to give the earth time when you till the ground, but this devil doesn't do it. He just he lays on sore strokes on the people, on the earth. You know what I'm saying? And this is why you have sickness at an all-time high. You see, this is why you have these so-called crises and all this bullshit going on, because this man has totally fucked up the order, man. You see? And like it says no part of the creation ever grows hungry. No part grows tired or stop its work. The parts do not crowd one another. You see? So they not, you know what I'm saying? It's order, man. It works perfectly. You see? But under this devil's rulership, he's telling you and you know what he's been going throughout the earth, killing all the animals, killing the beavers. You know, the nigga came to America and just killed all the beavers, man. You see, just look up the benefits of beavers, man. Look up the benefits of ants and all these. The Lord is in, but here it is. This fucking devil was turn around and tell you there is no God. Clearly, it was a power that it was intelligence that created everything, man. You see, and set it in order, man. You know. But let's go back to that. Let's go back to that Sirach 42. I'll read that, and then I'll get back to this Chat GPT. It says, Sirach chapter 42, and I'm gonna start at verse 21. It says, the orderly world shows the greatness of his wisdom. He is the same forever and ever. Nothing can be added to him, or nothing taken away. He needs no one to give him advice, right? You see, because this fucking devil will say that the Lord doesn't know what he's doing, man. That's what he's trying to say right now. Here it is. Bill Gates will talk about he'll cut a fucking forest down and then turn around and say we need to put up some artificial trees. Like, nigga, what was the fucking point, bro? What are you talking about? You see, these are the people that are in rulership and nobody is saying anything. This nigga want to cut the trees down and then put up an artificial tree. Make that make sense, man. They can never do what an actual natural tree that the Lord created can do, man. You see? It says, verse 22, all his works are beautiful down to the smallest and faintest spark of life. All these things go on forever, and all of them have their purpose. All things are in pairs. All right, it says each the opposite of the other, but nothing the Lord made is incomplete. And this is what this devil is trying to say, that what the Lord made is incomplete, and he has a better way, you know. But look at his way. His way is nothing but death and destruction. You see? So let's go back to this Chat GPT. It says what people mean by carbon crisis. It says the carbon crisis refers to the buildup of CO2 and other greenhouse gases in Earth's atmospheres, mainly from burning fossil fuels, oil, coal, and natural gas, cars, planes, and ships, power plants, and there's other ways. There's people that already invented particular things like cars that run on water. You see, but the nigga, he awesome, man. Why? Because it's gonna fuck up his money. You see, it says planes, ships, power plants, factories, and cement production, deforestation, cutting trees, removing natural CO2 absorbers. Right, you see? Natural CO2 absorbers. And the Lord, when, like, going back to how we read, man, the Lord made natural, the order was perfect, man. That's why Yahweh Shana Alahayim said what? It is good. Because trees are natural CO2 absorbers. And I looked this up. So let's look it up. Let's go to it. So natural absorbers of carbon, known as carbon sinks, are vital ecosystems that remove CO2 from the atmosphere, with oceans and forests being the largest. And this nigga is cutting down the trees and polluting the ocean, bro. You see? But cows are the fucking problem. Cows are the problem, right? It ain't you dumping hundreds and billions of gallons of toxic waste and shit in the damn ocean and burying all this bullshit and this trash in the goddamn earth. Or all this nigga just polluting everything. But cows are the problem, bro. Cow farting and niggas in the hood are the problem. It says ocean absorbs roughly 25 to 50% of emissions through phytoplankton algae in direct absorption. Forest and soil sequester, however you say it, carbon via photosynthesis, storing it in biomass. So it says key natural carbon absorbers or sinks. It says oceans. Ocean is the largest, right? See, and who knew that, man? That the ocean is the largest carbon absorber. So it makes sense why this devil is doing what he's doing to the ocean, man. You see? Because real soon, you niggas already paying for water. Next, your ass is gonna be paying for air. You see? Ain't no fucking way you should get, bro. Every time I go to camp, man, every time I'm going to Dallas, you see the fucking little signs on the freeway, and it's always a goddamn orange or red warning. Don't spend too much time outside. The air quality sucks. This every fucking day, bro. Cause soon this nigga is gonna charge soon he's gonna charge people for air. You know? So it says the oceans acts as the primary carbon sink, utilizing a physical pump of circulations. It says in a biological pump, photosynthesis by phytoplankton, algae, and seagrass are to trap carbon. Forests and trees. It says trees, particularly in forests, are critical, absorbing carbon dioxide through photosynthesis and storing it in roots. It says trunk, branches, and leaves. It says soil, organic matter, and this nigga polluting the soil, bro. It makes perfect sense why this nigga's doing what he's doing, bro. You see? This nigga's the fucking devil, man. It says Greenland and wetlands. These ecosystems store a large amount of carbon in their roots and soils, often more efficiently than forests in certain climates. You see? So when the Lord made the earth, you think the Lord didn't think about this? Well, damn, you know what? Damn, Yahweh Shah, I forgot about the carbon. Like, nigga, what are you talking about, bro? This man is crazy. Esau is crazy, bro. So let's get back to it, man. It says CO2 traps heat in the atmosphere. Think of it like a blanket around the planet. A little is normal. Too much causes problem. And who made this way? Who's creating this current life? Putting up all these fucking factories. Niggas riding around with big ass goddamn diesel trucks, bro. You know what I'm saying? There's a whole bunch of pollution, bro. You created this. You are the problem. You see? And that's why when the Lord comes, like it says in the book of Sirach, the physician cut off a long disease, man. Esau is the cancer and disease of the earth. And when the Yahweh comes back and he cuts that disease off, you're going to see the earth prosper. You see? It's going to prosper like no one ever seen before, man. Especially under the rulership of Yahweh, all right, and the 144,000, man. It says, why excess carbon is considered a problem. Scientists say rising CO2 levels contribute to global warming, sea level rise, more extreme weather, crop stress and food supply disruption, ocean acid acidification. I think I'm saying that right. Hurts fish and coral and reefs. You see, and coral reefs, fish but I guess it ain't the CO2. Yeah. I guess it ain't the shit that you dumping in the ocean, man. I guess it ain't the plastic and condoms that they find in their fish stomachs and straws stuck up turtles' noses and shit. That ain't the problem. Nah, it's the CO2. Too much CO2. It says, so why people say carbon crisis? This means carbon levels are rising faster than the ecosystem and society can comfortably adapt to. Why? Because he's destroying all the natural carbon absorbers, man. You see, and he's making a life. He's making a life to where everything it's just pollutant. It's pollution. You see. It says why people like BG or Bill G want to cut carbon. It says BG isn't unique here. He's part of a broader group of scientists, governments, and business leaders who believe if carbon emissions keep rising unchecked, the long-term damage will be far more expensive and destabilizing than changing how we can produce energy. Specifically, Gates focuses on clean energy innovation, carbon capture, technology that pulls CO2 out of the air. When the Lord made it that way, you see how this 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, bro. This is that nigga, man. This is he who opposed it, man. You see, 2 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 4. Matter of fact, I'm gonna start at verse 2. Let no man deceive you by any 3. 2 and 3. 2 Thessalonians 2 and 3. Let no man deceive you by any means, for their day shall not come except there come a falling away first, and that man of sin be revealed. That man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, the son of destruction. Clearly, this nigga is that nigga, bro. What other so-called race of people is doing this, bro? Exactly. You got to ask, you so-called Negro, Latinos, and Native Americans got to start. You got to be honest with yourself, man. You know? Verse 4, who opposed and exalted himself above all that is called God or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. And that's exactly what this man is trying to do. You see? He's boasting himself to be God. He's saying that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God that created the heavens and the earth and all things that exist, got it wrong. He got it wrong. I got the answer, Sway. That's what this nigga is saying, man. He's saying that he has the way, and his way is nothing but destruction, man. It's going to lead these people to their destruction, man. You see? That's why when you get that word beast in Revelation chapter 13, when you go, it's Therion, but when you go into the root, it's Thera. I think I'm saying it right, but it says it says, matter of fact, Salakia. Then I'm gonna come back. Revelation chapter 13. All right. So let's just get this word for beast. You can go in any verse in Revelation 13 and just get that word for beast. All right, and this beast that John seen, okay, when you go into it, it's Strong's G 42 Therion. It says an animal, a wild beast, and this nigga is a beast. Metaphor of a bestial, brutal. It's like a brutal, bestial man, a savage, ferocious. This is who this nigga is, man. You see, he's a bestial man. You see, he's a fucking beast. You know. But when you go into the root word, it says what? Thera. It says what? A hunting of wild beasts to destroy them. Metaphor of preparing destruction for men. You see? It says figuratively destruction or a trap. You see? And that's exactly what this man is. He's a trap. This shit is a trap, man. You see? And he's pushing people in on every side, man. When you go into that in the book of Luke. Okay? But I'm going to say that for a little later, man. I'm going to keep going on this. So let's get back to this. Let's get back to this Chat GPT. It says, alternate fuels. It says making green tech cheaper so countries don't rely on coal and oil. His argument is mostly economic plus technological, not spiritual or population based. Climate damage equals trillions in losses. Right, this nigga is about money. Poor countries suffer first and hardest, which he don't give a damn about the poor. You see? Look at all these people. Just look at all these people. It ain't gonna be no starvation in the kingdom of heaven, man. Unless these nations don't want to come up and worship like the scriptures say. Then we gonna cut their shit off, you know? But hey, man, come on, bro. It says energy demands will keep rising no matter what. So the goal is, he explained it, is reducing emissions without collapsing modern life. How you gonna reduce the emissions? He already told you how he's gonna reduce it. By getting the population down. That's what that nigga is gonna do, man. He's about to get ready to he's about to get ready to get busy. Revelations 12:12, man. You know? It says, while some people are skeptical or uncomfortable with it, not everyone disagrees that pollution is bad. No, the pollution is bad. We agree with that. The tension comes from how solutions are proposed. It says government gains more control over energy and behavior. Corporation profiting from green policies. Costs being pushed onto regular people. And we seeing all that, and it's gonna make sense when we go into this these data centers and what they do. You see, we seeing the costs being pushed on people now. We seeing these governments getting more and more control of people and their behavior and what you can and can't do. Real soon they are already telling you people eating too much meat. Eat some bugs. Eat this Beyond Meat. Whatever the hell that shit is, man. It's plant-based, and they ain't talking about the one that the Lord made either, man. They talking about that goddamn chemical factory that they that they making it in, man. You know? It says fears of restrictions of travel, food or jobs, and we seeing that everything that is these points that is making, we're seeing it right now. It's distrust of elites making decisions for everyone else. It says these concerns are not imaginary. They're a part of the real debate. Yes, and they're happening, man. You see? One important balance to understand: carbon itself is not evil. Humans breathe out CO2. Plants need it to live. Life depends on it. The issue is scale and speed. How fast humans are altering the system. You see, and it says human, but it's really Esau, man. He likes to use the humans are destroying the earth. No, nigga, you are destroying the earth. That's why when the Lord come back, okay, the Lord is gonna destroy your ass, man. Salakia. This is Revelation chapter 11 and verse 18. It says, "And the nations were angry, and thy wrath is come, and the time of the dead, that they should be judged, and that thou shouldest give reward unto thy servants, the prophets, and to the saints, and to them that fear thy name," showing you that the prophets are back, man. All right. It says, "Small and great, and shouldeth destroy them which destroyed the earth." You see? And Esau, he's the one that's destroying the earth. You know what I'm saying? Because under this man's rulership, he's allowing these heathen to do what they want to, man. That's why ain't no way in the kingdom of heaven that you gonna see these goddamn Moabites, or these Ammonites just eating goddamn octopus and the niggas just hunting orcas and eating orca meat, man. Nigga eating blubber, nigga eating whale. No, you are not. No, it's not gonna happen in the kingdom of heaven, man. You know. But like it says, man, human, and you see the balance, man. It says carbon itself is not evil. Humans breathe out CO2. Plants need it to live. You see, that's that order that the Lord set up from the beginning, man. You see, everything that the Lord made is good, man. Real quick, Sirach 39. All right, I'm gonna read verse. Let me see where it is. 33 and 34 in the GNT. Everything made by the Lord is good. He meets every need at the proper time. No one can claim that some things are worse than others, for everything is good in its proper place, you see? And the Lord set everything in its proper place from the beginning, man. You see? So this devil being able to convince people that, oh, this is bad, and this nigga is wicked, bro. You know? And Jake is about to see. So I want to get into this data center real quick, man. So I asked ChatGPT, this is the same we asked it Friday. At Kemp, it says how data centers being built pollute the earth and uses mass resources. It says, yes, this is what I want to get into. Yes, this is one of these things that doesn't look dirty on the surface, but the footprint is heavy once you zoom out. And you remember, we just read about the carbon crisis and how they want to cut carbon. We need to cut the CO2 down. We need to do this, do that. But watch how these fucking data centers, watch how they look what these motherfuckers do, man. You see, it says data centers are basically the factories. You see, these are the new age factories that's gonna be, you know. It says of the digital age. It says here's how they pollute the earth and chew through mass resources. All right. It says, in matter of fact, before I get this, let's get a scripture. Let's go to Luke 21, and I'm gonna come back, man, because this is what the elder Micah Allah was going into, man, of how that press is coming, man. You see. This is Luke 21 and verse 25. It says, and there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Man's heart failing them for fear and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth. For the power of the heaven shall be shaken. You see? So let's go into this word. Let's go into this word distress, man. You see, I want to grab two words real quick. So let's go to perplexity. Perplexity is what? It says Strong's G640, aporeia. It says the state of one who is in perplexity. All right, but when you go into the root, it says what? Aporeia, or however you say it.
Strong's G639, apareo.
Right. It says to be without resources, to be in straits, to be left wanting, to be embarrassed, to be in doubt, right? Because our people are going to be embarrassed, man. Like it says in the book of Isaiah chapter 30, man, you trust in the shadow of Pharaoh shall be your shame. And our people trust in this place. They trust in this devil, you see. But that's going to be our people's shame real soon, man. They're going to be in confusion. It says to be in doubt, not to know which way to turn, to be at a loss with oneself, to be in doubt, not to know how to decide or what to do. All right, and that's exactly how these people are going to be. They're going to be without resources. They ain't going to know what the hell to do. And that's exactly where Esau wants you, you see? Because once he had people in that mindset, he's able to control them. It's a wrap. And he's doing this all to, you know, he's going to be the cause of this collapse. He's the one who's going to make it happen, man. Really, it's Yahweh Shem Yahushai, but he's going to use this devil to do so, you see? But let's go into this word distress, okay? I'm going to let him say it.
Strong's G4928, sunache.
It says a holding together, a narrowing. It says metaphor of straits or distress or anguish. All right, but when you go into this this root word, it's sakaneho. All right, and it's it says let me see. I'm gonna start right here at A. It says to press together with the hand. I'm gonna jump to B. It says to press. Damn, I'm gonna read A again. It says to press together with the hand, to hold one's ears, or to shut the heavens that it may not rain. It says to press on every side of a besieged city, of a strait that forces a ship into a narrow channel. All right, and these are all good definitions. That press, man. Pressure from above, pressure from below. You see, this is all a part of that left-hand magic, man. You see, that order out of chaos. You see, of a besieged city. People of this city, people are being besieged and they don't even realize it, man. Because what are niggas are going to do today? All right. Niggas are getting ready to watch the Super Bowl, man. Niggas are all at the grocery store getting the goddamn wing platters. You know what I'm saying? People are going to be going to bars. All right. While the whole time Esau is making moves, man. You see? He's making moves, man. It says of a cattle squeeze that pushes in on each side, forcing the beast into a position where it cannot move so the farmer can administer medication. And that's exactly what Esau is doing, man. And you people are nothing but beasts to him, an animal, man. You see? And he's pushing your he's pushing you in on every side, man. Okay? And it's going to get worse. Man, 2026 is, man, bro, we just in the second month, man. Not even the middle of the second month, and look what's happening. It's about to be a long year for you so-called Negro Latinos and for you Americans, period. Americans, period, man. We gonna be here too, all right? But we in that sanctuary, man, like it talks about in Psalms 91, okay? As long as we remain there, we good, man, okay? But like it says, that cattle squeeze, this is exactly what he's doing, man. You see? That cattle squeeze that's happening, it says, where he can position, forcing the beast into a position. He's forcing your ass into where you ain't got nowhere to go. You see? You ain't gonna be able to go bro, the AI taking your jobs, prices, people can't find jobs. You know what I'm saying? Food going up more and more. All this shit is taking place because this nigga is squeezing your ass. All right, it says into a position where it cannot move, so the former can administer medication. You see? And that medication, that former is Esau, and that medication is going to be that RFID microchip, man. The mark of the beast. You see? It says to hold completely. This nigga is going to have your ass, bro. Once he administer that medication, and that's it, like I said, going back, that's what he wants you. He wants you in a position to where you don't know what to do. You confused, you perplexed. You don't know which way to turn. You know what I'm saying? Where am I gonna get what? How am I paying my bills? How am I gonna do this? I ain't got no job. What my kids gonna eat? What we gonna get some water? What we gonna do? This nigga's gonna have you niggas, and we gonna, like I said, but we gonna be in the midst of it too. You see? Like the scripture saying, second Ezra, the righteous and the righteous stuff a straight thing, and hope for the wicked stuff a straight thing, and them niggas are through and have no hope. You see, we helping to be fed by Yahweh Shem Shah, man. You see? Because he promised a provision, all right, for his elect. It says to hold fast, it says of a prisoner. You see, it says to be held by, closely occupied with any business, but that was the point. To constrain, to oppress, of ill laying hold of one and distressing him. Right, and this is exactly what's getting ready to come up on the earth. And that's why it says in the next verse, what? Man's heart failing them for fear, for the looking after those things which are coming on the earth. That same verse in the NLT, people will be terrified at what they see coming upon the earth, for the powers in the heavens will be shaken. Okay, so let's get back to this data center. And it's going to make sense how that squeeze is going to happen, how Esau is going to have people in perplexity, man. Okay, so it says, number one, it says insane electricity demands. It says data centers run 24/7, no breaks. They power servers, cooling systems, and backup systems. It says many are as energy hungry as small cities. You see? As small cities, bro, that's a lot of fucking electricity. It says a huge portion still run on fossil fuel based grids. It says the impact, high CO2 emissions, man. But we got it. So what? And that's exactly why he's saying. Oh, that's exactly why he gonna off you niggas, because he can't have these data centers and all you niggas. One of you niggas gotta go, and it ain't gonna be his data centers, man. Because his data centers are gonna have a use. It's gonna have it's gonna be a value to him. But you niggas not. He don't need you. He don't need you to work at the warehouse no more. You know, your ass trying to sit in the goddamn parking lot and get an extra 10 minutes on your fucking break. He don't need you niggas no more. Why? Because he got robots. You see, he has AI, all right, and automation to do these jobs. Okay? It says the impact is high CO2 emissions increased air pollution from power plants. You see? So this nigga's polluting the air. Do you see how a hypocrite this nigga is? We got to get to see there's too much shit happening. But then you building these data centers that's totally polluting, doing the same fucking shit. And even worse, man. You see? It says grid strain, more power plants being built. It says even cloud services aren't weightless. It says the cloud is just someone else's electricity bill and smokestacks. It says number 2, mass water usage. Going back into that video like I first started off with, man. How every question that you ask Chat GPT is just a drop of water is being used every time. You know? It says mass water usage. Cooling is the silent killer. Large data centers can use millions of gallons of waters per day. Water is used to cool servers and prevent overheating. Many are built in drought-prone areas. And watch this. The impact is what? It drains local water supplies. It says it competes with agriculture and residential water. Rising water prices for locals. Some communities don't even realize this until shortages happen, right? Showing you, like the Elder Michael Allah said, that it's going to be a shortage of water, man. You're not going to be able to. Why you think that CEO of Nestle said water is a privilege? It's not a right. They're getting ready to cut that shit off, man. So you niggas coming home, you taking a bath after the gym, and you get home from work, and that shit is about to be stopped, bro. It's about to be a shortage. And the only way your ass gonna be able to get the little bit that this nigga does give you is by bending the knee and taking that RFID, man. You know? I'm gonna read that again. It says it drains the local water supplies. It competes with agriculture and residential waters, and it raises the water prices for locals. Some communities don't even realize this until shortages happen. You see? Land destruction and habitat loss. You see what this nigga is destroying the earth, bro. You see what these data centers are doing. Okay? It says building a data center isn't just dropping a building. It says it requires large plots of land, roads, substations, transmission lines. It says it's often built on forest land, farmland, and wildlife habitats. You see? And now it makes more sense about how over the years they've been going at it with these farmers. They've been purposely bankrupting them and making shit and then bringing all these goddamn laws into place to where they had a fucking hotline to where these farmers had to, a suicide hotline for farmers, bro. Because they lost all their livelihood, and it was done on purpose. And who circled back and bought up all that shit? BG himself, man. What the hell a damn computer tech gonna need with some fucking farmland? Now we know what he need with it. To build these data centers, man. You see? It says it's often built on forest land, farmland, and wildlife habitats. It says the impact is what? Ecosystem disruption, loss of biodiversity, and increased flooding due to land clearing. Once concrete goes down, the land is basically dead space for nature. You see? So once this shit go down, it's destroying it, man. It's destroying the ecosystem, all those animals that live in that particular area, through the people, you know? Toxic material and e-waste. Servers don't last long. Hardware is replaced every 3 to 5 years, and it makes sense why this nigga is going after all these metals and lithium and all this other shit. You see? Components contain lead, mercury, cadmium, however you say it. It says in rare earth materials. It says e-waste dumped in landfills or shipped overseas, right? So he just all the waste he just pumping and putting in the earth, man. Toxic leaching into soil and groundwater. You see? Dangerous working conditions in poor countries where waste is produced. This part of the chain is mostly hidden from public view. You see? Resource intensive construction. All right, it says building the center itself is pollution heavy. You see? It's pollution heavy, man. It says concrete steel production, it says equals major CO2 emitters. It says mining requires for copper, lithium, all right, cobalt, and rare earth material. You remember that shit that happened up there in the Carolinas? All right, the Elder Bonzapata that brought it out about that Piedmont company. You see, getting rights to that land where they flooded those people's homes out, caused a flood and flooded that shit out so they can buy that town because it has the largest natural place of lithium, man, resources of lithium, man. You see, and when you root that Piedmont company, it goes back into BlackRock. You see, all these Piedmonts and all, it always goes back when you trace it. It always goes back to these few companies like BlackRock, man. But they be under the guise of other companies, other names, man. You see, to hide themselves. All right. It says impact is what? Deforestation, water contamination from mining runoffs, and long-term environmental damage in mining regions. Digital life depends on very physical extraction. You see, heat and pollution. So it goes on and on. Matter of fact, I'll get a little bit more and I'm gonna end it off. Heat pollution. All that computing produces heat. Excess heat is vented into the environment. You see, this nigga is the devil, bro. And in at camp, we didn't even read this far down, bro. You know, so that shows. Look what these data centers are doing. Okay. It says the excess heat is vented into the environment, raises local temperatures and microclimate effects. Impact is increases cooling needs. It says feedback loops. It says stress on nearby ecosystems. You see, false green claims. Many companies say carbon neutral, but often rely on carbon credits. It says in offsets offsets instead of real reduction. It says still pulling power from dirty grids in real life. You see, and this nigga, some emissions happen now while offset promises help later. It says the big picture takeaway. Data centers are energy intensive, water hungry, land consuming, and resource extractive. They're not evil by default, but unchecked growth plus profit first planning turns into a quiet environmental crisis, right? You see, because this nigga is the fucking devil. He's the cause of it, man. You see, it's one in Wisdom of Solomon, man. Let me see if it's a game. Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 15 and verse 12 in the GNT. It says he thinks of human life as a game, a market where he can profit. It says he believes that he must make money however he can, even by evil ways. You see? And that's exactly what this devil is doing, man. You see, and that squeeze is coming. You see, that perplexity, all that the scriptures talk about is getting ready to take place, man. You see, and you've been warned, and now people are getting ready to see. All right, hey, man, experience is the best teacher. And I'm going to leave it at that. So with that, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem, Rachach, double honors unto the apostles of Great Millstone that teach and rule well. And as always, peace and salutation to the elect. Shalom.